Welcome back, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us for the Road to 10th APFSD Regional Dialogue on Youth Empowerment and Climate Action. We now head to our session on ACE and Youth and Genesis for Climate Action. To moderate this session, please welcome Mr. Taimur Siddiqui, Youth Engagement Coordinator, UNFCCC IGES Regional Cooperation Center for Asia and the Pacific. Over to you, Taimur.
Thank you so much, Sisi, for inviting me, and I welcome all of the participants from across the Asia and the Pacific, and also those who are joining from across the globe. So my name is Taimur Siddiqui. I'm the Youth Engagement Coordinator at the UNFCCC RCG Bangkok. And today we are going to discuss in this session regarding the ACE, the work that UNFCCC has been doing. And this session has been divided into two parts, where in the first half, we would be having a presentation on the ACE, and in the second part, we would be having a panel discussion with the members of the YOUNGO who are working here quite greatly from in every part of the world, not in the Asia Pacific. So for this presentation, I would like to call Ms. Laura Vinuela, who is a Program Officer Action for Climate Empowerment Team at UN Climate Change Office.
Thank you, Taimur, and let me share my presentation. I think I'm not able to share, so probably someone can share it for me on your side or on UNDP side.
Yeah, I can ask Sisi. Sisi, can you share? Laura, by the way, your presentation is visible.
Ah, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
For confirming that. I hope you can see it now. Great, thank you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. I will be presenting, as Taimur mentioned, on ACE and youth, and also to give a little bit of a context about what is the outcome of the latest decision related to ACE and youth. So just to give, and yeah, next please. Just to give a bit of a context for those who are unfamiliar with the term Action for Climate Empowerment, or ACE in short. This is a term that was adopted by the parties to refer to efforts under Article 6 of the Convention and Article 12 of the Paris Agreement. And with this slide, I wanted to give a little bit of a visual context of where ACE is located under the Convention and the Paris Agreement. So if you see under the Convention, Article 6, it comes right after the principles and the commitments under the Convention, so it has a high hierarchy. And in this article, although it's titled Education, Training, and Public Awareness, it really speaks about the efforts that the parties should make in implementing education and public awareness, training, public access to information, and participation. In the Paris Agreement, the ACE article was adopted under Article 12, and here it is recognized that these 5 elements of ACE are important steps to take in order to achieve all the goals and the objectives under the convention. And also to give a little bit of background on what is ACE and also why ACE matters. ACE plays a key role in promoting the changes in systems and attitudes and behaviors that are needed to foster low emission, climate resilient and sustainable development. And why is that? Because ACE, what it provides is a toolbox that citizens can use to be empowered, equipped, and informed to be able to take climate action. And because of its close linkages with all these 6 elements, youth is a cross-cutting focus of the work under the agenda, and the work that the ACE team does here at the UNFCCC Secretariat is with youth. So we are the focal point for youth within the Secretariat. And also sometimes people ask, like, what does it mean to see all these elements implemented? I mean, what would be the result of seeing these elements being implemented? So here, I just wanted to show like some examples of what does it mean. So for instance, education, it means that climate change education is integrated into the school curricula and in non-formal and informal education. On public awareness, communities and individuals take their own action to address climate change through climate-friendly behavior and civic engagement. Public access to information, citizens have access to the information they need to hold governments and companies accountable for their actions. With regards to training, scientists, technical and managerial personnel, journalists, teachers, and the future workforce are trained to support just transition to green economy. And on public participation, citizens and civil society organizations are able to contribute meaningfully to decision-making processes, enabling countries to achieve more ambitious climate action. And now moving on to our mandates. So the work that we do at the Secretariat is to implement the Glasgow Work Programme on AIDS and its action plan. The Glasgow Work Programme on AIDS is a 10 years work program that was launched at COP26, and this was really a milestone because it launched the new decade on action for climate empowerment, and by providing party and stakeholders with a flexible framework to implement AIDS implementation, then they moved away from the negotiations and into an implementation phase. The work program also recognized the importance of youth as agents of change and the need to build their capacities. So it really recognizes that the youth are at the front fight against climate change, and only by engaging youth is that we are going to be able to achieve the goals of the convention and the Paris Agreement. The Glasgow Work Programme is structured under, around 4 priority areas. The priority areas, we moved away from talking about single elements into talking about priority areas, because what we want to do is we want to accelerate implementation of the 6 elements in a balanced manner. This is because what we identify is like singling out elements is not the most effective way to implement an ACE element. For example, we cannot talk about effective public participation without public awareness or public access to information. Education and public awareness go hand in hand, and so on. So the 4 elements are policy coherence, which aims to strengthen coordination of ACE work at the international and national level. Coordinated action that aims to build partnerships that bring together expertise, resources, and knowledge. Then an element to enhance the tools and support for building capacity and raising awareness. And the last one is to strengthen monitoring, evaluation, and reporting of all ACE elements at all levels. And just like zooming in on what does it say with regards to youth? What does the framework say about youth? It has basically the framework provides a list of activities that parties and non-party stakeholders can undertake to implement the work program. And under coordinated action, the Glasgow Work Program says that an annual youth forum could be organized in collaboration with youth organizations. Under tools and support, parties are encouraged to build the capacity of youth and promote their participation in climate processes. And also this is the article that mentions that that invites parties to have youth as part of their national delegations to the UNFCCC processes. And as you may know, last year at COP27, we adopted a 4-year Glasgow Work Program that contains immediate action through short-term, clear, and time-bound activities, which are guided by the priority areas of the Glasgow Work Program. And this action plan actually helps us to bring forward the implementation of the Glasgow Work Program. What I did here as well is to highlight what are the specific activities that speak about youth. So in this case, there is activity A1 under policy coherence and C2 under tools and support. And in practice, what these activities mean is that the governments and stakeholders should provide capacity and skills building opportunity for young people, and also that they should provide opportunities for young people to sit at the table with national ACE focal points and other decision makers who are working on climate change. And for those who are not familiar with it, I wanted to also present the annual summary report on ACE, which is also coming from a mandate of the Glasgow Work Programme and provides information on progress made in implementing the Glasgow Work Programme. The report was published for the first time last time, but is going to be published at the end of the year on an annual basis. There is a section that is dedicated to youth. At the moment, the focus has been on the engagement of youth by the Secretariat and by the constituted bodies, but I believe it's a good source of information to understand what the Secretariat is doing in terms of youth engagement. And after the adoption of the action plan at the end of last year, also the Secretariat received some further guidance on what parties expect this report, what kind of information the parties expect this report to include. And for instance, among them, there is a request to incorporate information on child education and empowerment in climate action. And finally, for those who will be attending the 58 meeting of the subsidiary body that we also know as ASP 58 in June, here is a kind of a list of activities that the ACE team will be delivering during the SBs. So our ACE National Focal Points Academy and the Youth Event are both events of the ACE Hub. The ACE National Focal Point Academy is really dedicated for national focal points to talk about ACE implementation. One of the segments is always on youth engagement, and young people are always invited to attend and discuss with national focal points on their priorities. And then the youth exchange is a space to build the skills and the capacities of young people. This year it will be focusing on leadership and entrepreneurship. There was an open call for applications that closed early this week. That is, and we are doing this event with the support of Yango. And then we're going to be having our ACE mandated event, which we deliver every year during the SBs. This year, the focus will be on monitoring, evaluation, and reporting. And there will be a poster session. We're going to be publishing information on our website and our newsletter and LinkedIn group soon. So this will be a space for parties and non-party stakeholders to showcase what they're doing in terms of ACE implementation. There are going to be a space also that is dedicated to youth climate action, and information will be coming probably before the end of this week. This is just, a list of activities that our team is delivering. There's going to be also possibly an orientation session at the beginning of the first week of SB 58. And there are also events that are dedicated to youth or engaging youth that other teams in the Secretariat are delivering. We're aware that the PCCB and local communities and indigenous peoples platform also are delivering something during the SBs. All this information is going to be publicly available in the website together with the side events. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much for the invitation. I will stay for some questions, and I'm giving the floor back to you.